Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another Fete Finder feature. Today we have the creator and founder of Logic Promotions. We have Rich with us today. What's going on, sir?
What up, boss?
Chilling. Ooh, glad I didn't mess that intro up, right?
You've been messing up intros?
Something like that. So, today I want to start with you. First, where are you from?
Born and raised in Trinidad. Moved to New York. Lived up there till I left to join the Army. Then after I did a little traveling in the Army, wound up down here in the DMV area. But spent the first 14 years of my life living in Trinidad.
Okay. And just go back, the military.
Yeah.
Like, how long you spent in the military? What, Army, Navy?
Army, so I went in, reserves. Not gonna say didn't like it. Went in the reserves, then realized it wasn't enough. Like after you get done with basic, and then you stop doing it. So I was like, I kind of want to go back into it. Went active duty, did 4 years, and then got out, finished out in the National Guard in this area.
Okay, all right. So when did you move down to this area, the DMV?
Yeah, 2007, got stationed out in Belvoir. 2006, stationed out in Belvoir. That was my last duty station. I got out from Belvoir and just stayed in the area.
Okay. When did you want to be a promoter, or can I call you a promoter, or what exactly is your title? Because I know Logic Promotions, or you dabble in a lot of stuff. So
I am a promoter. I put together events of my own, but I also work with a lot of people promoting their events. Oddly enough, it started on the hip hop scene. Like when I was in the Army, I just needed a part-time job. I needed some side work. So I had been going to Love a few weekends, just going out there partying, whatever, and got cool with some of the security guys and just took a security gig there. So working security there, started to meet some of the promoters of the Thursday, Friday, Saturday night parties back when Love was the big thing. Gotcha. And met up with Dan the Man and linked up with him, got having a few conversations, so started promoting parties out at Love. But that was more like just meeting people, handing out flyers, stuff, just lower level stuff. But from then I was always into and interested in the entertainment side of things, and I just started kind of studying the game and learning from those guys as they was showing, like putting together parties, throwing your own events, etc., etc. So it started around that point.
Okay. And then when did you realize that, okay, I'm a promoter now? What was your first event that you put together on your own that you was like, all right, I'm here now?
My first event was my first Prestige. That's my birthday party.
Yes, yes.
And that was, I'll say at this point now, it's been like 6 years ago. And I just wanted to do something for my birthday. You know, it was more or less.
No, go ahead.
You about to ask something.
No, I had a thought.
Yeah.
That joint is crazy, but go ahead.
Yeah, so it was like, and I had been going to a lot of people's parties. Once I got more into the scene, I used to go to Hazard's joint. I used to go to Spider's joint, RH Spider. I used to go to Flex joint. Everybody birthday party would always be this big to do, and I was like, I want to do something for my birthday. You know what I'm saying? So my first party I was cool with I've gotten cool with a lot of these guys, and just was like, you know what, I want to do something for myself for my birthday. So put together the first year we did Prestige, and I got a lot of help, like a lot of advice, like Jason from BK Entertainment, Hector, Sekou, Mo, all of them was giving me like little tips and stuff on what to do, what to expect, etc. And from there, and it just took off from there. Like once I did that and got my feet wet and enjoyed it, I was like, yeah, I'm
here. I'm doing. Yeah, this is what I'm doing.
This is it from this point on.
Yeah. So what year was that? Because that's what I was thinking in my head.
I'm trying to remember the year of the first Prestige. I can't remember.
Let's say 2000.
What are we now?
In 2020.
It had to be. Was it 2015? I think it was 2015.
So that was like. Yeah, that was like that's when it was at. I forgot the name of that joint.
2014 was the first Prestige, because
it was there for like New York Avenue, right?
No, the first Prestige was at the Loft. in Laurel.
Okay, so I came to the second one.
You came to the second one.
There
So
you
here's the
go.
thing.
Okay, I was trying to figure out.
So the first Prestige was 2014, and it was at the Loft Ballroom, or I can't remember if it was Occasions Banquet Hall at that point, but it had a couple different names. And because I remember 2019 was my 5-year anniversary.
Okay.
And this was supposed to be year 6 in 2020. And after that, the first one you came to was the one we did down at Aqua.
There you go.
And
Had a
then
blast. That's when I made my mark.
That was easily my favorite one.
Yes.
And unfortunately, the crazy thing about that is, after that party, that year Aqua stopped doing soca, stopped doing Caribbean parties altogether.
Yes, that was a blast.
I was so blown because we had such a good party. I remember talking to a dude at the end of the night, and he was like, "Yo, next year you good if you want to come back here." I was like, "I bet." We get to the end of the year, and I'm getting ready to start planning. I'm talking. He's like, "No, we got a weekly go-go or whatever, and they doing real good, so I can't take their night away." Blah. I was like, "I bet." Business is business, so I just found other locations, but I don't think anything. That second one was it. That was my favorite one, easily my favorite one.
Cause that was the event. No lie, like just a tangent, where I came out from the background and just going to Fetes.
Yeah.
And then everybody would like join groups of people and stuff like that.
Here go the crazy thing with that one, right? As you said that, I remember. So every year I would go back and find, because I didn't know you then. So every year I'm going back and I'm finding the photos to promote the next year, right? And I remember, like, not even the next year, but the year after, just going back through, and I'm realizing, oh shoot, Sam was there. Oh wait, there goes Sean. There go Ross. Like,
There's a lot of people.
Right, these are people that I know now that I'm cool with now, but at the time I did not know any of y'all, and I'm just like, oh, they was all at Prestige. Oh shoot, so it was
a
all
big thing,
it was.
like, so that's why I was like, I knew who you were already from seeing you at previous events, but that event was like, oh, who's this guy? And I'm like, okay, cool, bet. So with that, I could see how that was that event, your birthday party, kind of like set the stage.
That was the one that springboarded it for me. That got me. That got my feet wet and made me like, you know what? Yeah, I want to keep doing this. Okay. And a lot of it came from just, I wanted to throw the party I wanted to go to. Like, I wanted to pick my DJs. I wanted to set the theme, because the theme for Prestige is a dressy event, middle of April. So it's like, I wanted to throw the party I wanted to attend, not just wait for when somebody else throws it and I'm just going to their stuff. Like, I want to be like, I'm responsible. I'm putting together. I want to hear these DJs. I would like them to play these songs. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to tell them, hey, these are the genres I want you to touch, etc.
Awesome.
So I wanted the control aspect of it for myself. So it wasn't even a matter of whether or not it was successful. It was like, am I going to enjoy this?
Yeah.
That's why it started as my birthday party, because it was just, let me throw the party I want to go to.
Gotcha. How did the name Logic, where did that come from? Yeah, let's get dabble into that.
It was like, anybody who know me, I'm that dude, the sign, like, will argue with anyone about anything at any time. Like, I'm like I will devil's advocate you if I need to.
Got you.
Like, so, but if there's not a logical point, like if I cannot justify any point of view logically, I will not argue it. I'll be like, no, you got it. End of story. Like, I'm just not, because I'm not gonna sit here and speak and argue unintelligently. So that's just kind of always been me. And it was like, as we were getting this, I was like, yo, dog, just use some logic. Like, just think about it. And just in me saying that over and over and over, I just the name stuck with me, and I adopted it, and I just kept it rolling from that point on.
Okay.
And then some rapper got it, and now, so, threw me all the way off, yo. Went and got famous with the name and whatnot. But
it's all because I want to be salty about that, not just.
I'm not,
So, at this stage, because you've been in the game for a while, you said 2007, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Who do you like working with best as DJs? Because you say you pick your own DJs, you get to play. You want to play your own music when you make your events. What are some of the DJs? Who are some of the DJs that you enjoy working with and hiring?
It's that's an easy question for me.
Look hard.
No. It's you know what
I know we got a lot of talent out there.
Right. And the problem is, but here's the thing. You know when you because the question you ask is who do I enjoy working with, right? Mm-hmm. And the people I enjoy working with are it for me. It's not even just a talent thing. It's mm-hmm. just it's a professionalism thing. Mm-hmm. I like working with, of course, Nunu. Mm-hmm. That's my little sister.
I can tell.
I like working with Hazard because like when you give him what you want, mm-hmm. he will deliver that for you. So like you say, yo, I need you here at XYZ time. I want this genre of music.
Oh,
this
he's very professional.
Right. So you'll get that. Mm-hmm. So you get some people who maybe like are bigger names, mm-hmm. but then when you tell them what you want, you don't necessarily get that.
Okay.
So if you're talking about who I like working with Hazard, White Boy has always been like, whatever I need from him, he'll be that. Like, yo, look, can you get there early, help me with this? Yeah, boom. Mm-hmm. Can you stay late and do this? Boom. Majestic, just because he delivers. Like, he comes through and he delivers. Hector, for sure, because Hector will always, he always puts on a good performance, but then he will always make sure that I'm good. Mm-hmm. Like, whether, like, yo, Rich, what do you need? What's going on? Blah, blah, blah. So I think those are probably my favorite DJs to work with. Majestic, Noons, Hector, Hazard, White Boy.
Okay. So
if I forgot anybody, I'm sorry.
It's cool. It's just a question. Yeah. What are some of the things it takes to create a quality Fete in your eyes?
Starts with concept. Like, what am I coming to? What is the point of me spending my money? Mm. Now wait, let me ask you this though. Are you asking me as someone throwing it or someone attending something?
No, as a both thing, because you are a promoter. So you have to cater, I would assume that you have to cater to.
So this is what I'm saying for me. What I try to do as a promoter is, like I said, I try to throw something that I would want to go to. Mm. So I start with the concept. Like why would I want to spend my money on a Saturday night here when I have other options? One of which is staying home. I could watch TV. So why spend my money to come here? Okay. So it starts with concept. Entertainment. Make sure that you're picking people who are going to deliver on your concept, so that when you tell people this is what to expect. Like example, Blaze. If I tell you, we gonna introduce you to the new soca, and then you come in and you hear a bunch of old music, then you've been cheated because I told you X and the DJs delivered Y. So like the entertainment, are they going to deliver on what your concept is? Mm-hmm. And then honestly, just the overall vibe, like the crowd, like who is inside of the event turning up as the vibe is being created. So it's about the concept, the entertainment, the execution. And I think that, to me, if you give me those three things as a patron, I'm happy. You know what I mean?
So all encompassing is the who, what, when, where, why, and how.
Basically.
I like it.
And that's from a low maintenance standpoint. That's me saying, like, as a patron, that is what I need to enjoy an event. And maybe I don't need as much as some people. Some people might want or need more. I know for me, if you give me the right music in the right setting, I'm good.
Survive.
I'm good. Put some women in there and I'm good.
Hey, that's what it is. So now with your I don't know how you see yourself, but in this area, as for some of the events and fetes that you throw, in my eyes, you're kind of like right there.
Okay.
You're up there.
Okay.
In a sense, what can we expect from? I know COVID is happening now, but if COVID wasn't happening,
man,
what will Rich Logic be doing?
Listen, and it's easy. It's so crazy, and it's so easy to say this, but I mean, like the people I talked to before, because the planning phase starts if you are serious about it, the planning phase starts long before. So like, you'll sit there at the end of a year, at least I do, at the end of the year, and I'm looking, okay, I'm going to do these events next year because every year I've been trying to add something. I'm not trying to add to where I'm just like, just throwing parties for the sake of throwing parties. It's just.
God, I'm glad.
No. You ain't getting that. It's not a volume thing with me. Yes. It's not, let me see how many parties I could throw. It's okay, throwing meaningful thing where it's like, you know what? This has a purpose. This is the reason for this. This is what this party is going to be. So the planning of that starts the year before. And I had like, and I don't want to give too much away because I don't know how many of these ideas are going to make it to 2021.
Oh, no
like
problem.
But what I'm saying is,
Give me something though.
Right. Yeah. Well, look, Prestige this year was going to be a Prestige for 2020 because, you know, the way 2020 worked out, there were so many big holidays on Saturdays and Fridays and so many things. There was so much symbolism to the 2020.
Yeah.
It was almost like COVID was like, nah, y'all gonna act a fool. We ain't even, I'm gonna have to sideline y'all because y'all about to do too much. So I was like, so I had Prestige was gonna be craziness, and that year that those ideas are getting recycled into 2021. So
Gotcha.
I mean, into whatever year I feel comfortable throwing the event I want to throw. So if that means it can't happen in 2021, that's fine. It'll just wait.
Okay.
But or if it can't happen the date I want, but let's say later in the year is a more opportune time, then it may get moved. So,
Okay.
I mean, so 2020 had some just. I did get to throw Blaze because I got to do that right before Carnival.
Yeah.
And then Dear Summer was coming back, bigger and better. I had a couple of artists I wanted to bring. I actually spoke to management and got prices and was like, okay, bet. Like,
We can do this.
We can do this.
Okay.
Had some dates I was looking at, but just March 13th rolled around.
It was like, ha!
They was like, everything's, and then it just never.
I know it hit you hard because you remember the date. I didn't even know that there was an actual date.
Listen. Let me tell you, this is a sore date
for
some
all
of us.
promoters.
'Cause let me tell you, it was the day of Soca and Rum. Lyrical was already here.
I remember.
We was getting ready to go to Karma.
Yes.
It was Mo Fire's birthday. It was Friday the 13th.
Yep. That's what happened. That's how it is.
Right. So we remember the details. It was 6:47 when the message came out. Yo, all clubs are shut down in the DMV area, no parties. And we like, nah, bro.
They can't hear it, but I can hear the sides in the background backstage.
Bro. When COVID came, and the thing is, the crazy part is we monitoring it, right? And
I was looking at the news. Y'all ain't never look at the news so much in your lives.
right. So we hearing everything going on. We was like, you know what, guys, this is gonna be the last hurrah. We're gonna go out, have a good time. But this is gonna be this probably gonna be our shutdown for the year. So because we already at the point of getting to the event where it's like the day of, and Sekou's calling and checking, and he's talking to them. It's like, nope, we have no new information. As far as we know, we good. We ready to go.
Oh, yeah.
So the clubs, everybody. So it's really not like there was no. Yeah, there was no fooling anybody. There was nobody trying to hide anything. It was like, no, the last thing we had was this. And then as soon as they said, look, we just got the news, it, permeated throughout the rest of the community, and we all just kind of, we all just took that one on the chin. So that's why I remember the date, because we was ready. We was ready.
So what has been the negatives and positives of COVID during this pandemic?
I mean, the negatives are obvious. Or specifically to me, the negatives are obvious.
Yes.
But they're like...
So we can focus on the positive.
Right. Yeah, that's what I try not to... Well, I'm going to address the negatives really quickly. I just try not to harp on them too much because I look at it from my perspective, and then I think bigger picture. All I've lost is... I haven't lost, quote unquote, anything. I just did not get things I wanted to have. I did not get to do things I wanted to do. But I personally did not actually lose anything when there are people who have lost. Yes. So I can say that I have not had a negative from COVID that is even worth mentioning.
True.
The positive if that's even a word I can use to describe it, has been giving me a minute to sit back and properly plan out the next phases without the pressure to put anything out right now. So like, as much as I love throwing parties, I absolutely do. The stress leading up to a party is not fun. and it's only not fun while you're in the middle of it, and then when it's done, it's like, yep, doing it again like in a couple of months. And I'm okay with that. But like, to be able to sit back and really think and then evaluate, okay, what are the moves going to be for next year, and start setting things up for whenever the next time is. And it gave me a chance to sit back and work on some other things, get some other projects going, get some little classes and thing that I wanted to do for myself, some just professional development things. So I've taken the opportunity and the time where we were not doing anything and we didn't have the parties and the constant hustling, but which I enjoy. I enjoy it, so I'm not going to act like it was a pain. But when you don't have it, take stock of that time and start using it in different ways. So I've found different things I put my time and attention into that's going to help me moving forward into 21, 22, and beyond that point. So
I think on a personal note, I can agree with that, because that's what we had to do as a company as well. Use this time to better ourselves and kind of the growing pains. We get that time. We're not rushing. We know that, okay, we want to give a good quality product to the patrons, to the viewers, to the fetters, because we're all a community and we want something that is good. So with COVID happening, gave us the time to just halt and say, hey, how do we really want to go about this? And hearing you say that as well, and hearing some other people say the same thing, some advice that, and you can say you agree with me or not, I think if you want to perfect your craft, or this is something that you want to do, whether it be entertainment, DJ, promoter, anything out there, anything your dream. This is that time that COVID hit you and was like, I can take this time to revamp, get things right, and better myself as an individual, as this, as that, and be there. But there's some people that's going to still be living in March 13th of 2020, and we in 2021. So, what are your thoughts on that?
So, I agree with the sentiment, right? I agree with what you're saying. But I also think that we have been faced with something unprecedented in our lifetimes. There's no one alive now who lived through the Spanish flu. And I think for some people, just the trauma of living through this is, whether it's outward or not, they may not have lost anyone. They may have lost a job, they may have lost a family member, they may not have lost anything, but just having to deal with very little leisure, very little recreation, and all these other things, just coping with. And then when you're bombarded with the news, and then all the other things that have happened during this time, the stuff with the social injustice issues and the election, all this other stuff, I think honestly, for some people, just getting to this point, even if you've done nothing,
it's a blessing.
The fact that you're here now still, that take stock of that and be happy with that, because some people were able to level up per se, so to speak, during this time, because they were able to sit back and say, you know what, I don't have X, but this gives me time to do Y. So they got to working on Y, and it got them to another place, and that's great. But at the same time, they're the people who are still kind of stuck on March 13th, and that's okay too, because they're dealing with something that they wasn't
prepared for.
Like,
so don't get me wrong.
No.
My question wasn't to take away from the fact of we've all been through something. We've lost, we've gained. My condolences to people that have lost. But my question was mainly for you in that aspect.
And that's why. And
I don't want to get taken the wrong way, because nowadays.
No. Look,
just get run back.
It get run back, and it was like Sean don't care about who died. Like, so no. So that's why I was like, that's why I said I agree with what you're saying, because the reality is you didn't try to frame it in a negative way. I was just taking it. I was taking everything you said and just taking that next step
I got
further.
you, I got you.
And for me, I was able to do some things. And honestly, there was points where I just took a break. I just took a few weeks. I took a month off where I did nothing. You know what I'm saying? I went to work. I came home. I played video games, and I went to sleep.
Same.
And then I just turned and rinse, repeat, because I just was mentally like, as somebody like I watch a lot of news for better or worse. I pay attention to what's going on politically, what's going on, and so dealing with like just the mental trauma of everything that was happening, and you don't realize. I literally had to hear on the news. One of they had a thing with a psychiatrist, and he said, "Listen, turn this off every so often." He was like, "This is my advice to you." Like on the news, saying, "Turn this off. Listen to music. Like." Take a break from this, because when you turn this on, you are getting people died, day in and day out. So take a break from this. So, and you don't realize that it's affecting you sometimes until you just snap on somebody, or you just find yourself down, or you're not eating, or you're eating too much, or whatever. You don't know what happened to you. So I took a break where I just wasn't. I turned on some music, wasn't listening to anything that was going on. So for me, I was able to take some time to myself, take stock in some things that were important. The things that got shut down gave me a lot more time to spend with my family, and a lot of time to do different things, work on things for myself, just personal things that had nothing to do with partying or entertainment or work. So that was the quote unquote positive to come out of COVID, if there was going to be a positive.
True. Are you pro health or pro income?
I'm gonna say there's people who aren't pro health.
Bruh, this question has gotten a lot of responses from everybody I interviewed, so I have to ask the question to you.
Because you said
be fair.
You said it's an or. I was like, there's an or. Other people. Okay, let me hear it.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
So, and this is not knocking anybody. At the same time, this disclaimer is out there. Sometimes I have to do it. Sometimes I don't.
Gotcha.
Again, pro health, pro income, or somewhere in between as a promoter.
Oh, you mean like throwing parties?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Because I don't think the two aren't mutually exclusive. Like, it's not about, you can be pro income and pro health. Like, it's not.
Yeah.
Now,
pro Fete.
So I'm gonna answer the question that you trying to ask in a politically correct way. So.
No, don't do political.
No, that's what I'm saying. No, but I'm saying your question was politically correct.
Yeah, my bad. I'm
gonna answer the question, the real question that
that's
you asked.
That's the first time I actually asked it that way. So
right. So yeah. So do I think promoters should be throwing parties right now? No, and that's this short answer. That's the easy answer to me. And I get that some people have devoted their entire, like, they've gotten to a point where the entertainment industry was their career because they were making enough from it to live off of that. So when your whole career stops, I'm not in that situation because I have a job. So I throw parties and do promotions and stuff like that part-time. So when that stops for me, yes, it cuts off some money, but it doesn't cut off my living money.
Sure.
So it's easy for me to sit back on my pedestal and say, oh no, don't throw parties, because I'm in a different situation from somebody who that is their living.
Before you continue, I want to do this little disclaimer real quick, which I don't need a disclaimer, but I feel like it's going to have to be there. We're not just talking about this area.
No, that's fine. Yeah.
We're talking about
in general,
not just this area.
Right. Yeah. I'm talking total big picture because it's actually worse other places than it is here, and that's the problem, I guess. So again, it's easy for me to tell people don't make money or don't do this because it's not affecting me the same. But at the same time, I think that some people. So my answer is still no. Just so we're clear. So as I'm sitting here explaining, my answer is still no. Nobody should be throwing no parties in the middle of a global pandemic because that to me is a no-brainer. And then so when I hear people try to justify, oh, well, you could get it going to the store, and you could get it going to the move, and you can get it going to sis, so why not throw parties in a Safeway? One, there's nobody to throw parties in a Safeway. That's a ludicrous sentiment, because the problem with parties are, once you get mixed alcohol with humans, restrictions and inhibitions go out the window. So I can tell you all of the parties I've seen, the videos I've seen of parties, no one is wearing a mask, no one is social distancing. So you can say that, no, well, you can say that these are the restrictions you want to have, they're just not being followed. That is just a fact. Now, there are patrons who are like, you know what, I want to risk it. And that's fine. Like, you're an adult, you can risk it. I just know for me as a person, I am not going to be a part of promoting that risk. I'm not going to be a part of saying, hey, come out to this or come out to my thing, because I know that right now there is a bigger global issue happening, which is the pandemic. I felt like there was a point, maybe like in the summertime, where the numbers started to get lower and restrictions started to ease up.
Yes.
I think that was the opportunity for people. You know what? Y'all want to throw some parties? Because Caribbean people who party, we want that. We need that.
Yeah, we miss it.
We miss it, yeah. Right. So when it first hit and the numbers were sky high, that was the time where we needed to clamp it down so that summertime might roll around. We could get a little reckless for a little bit. Yeah. And then with the understanding that, look, let's do 2 months, a month of this, we get out our system. The numbers are going to go back up.
So we got to chill. We
got to lock it back down when they do, because that's the only way that we're going to be able to mitigate this thing until they get a way to get rid of it. I could not see myself putting the need to throw a party, or for the money from a party, or for whatever from a party, creating that bigger public health risk over the health of people. Even if I had people hit me up like, Rich, can y'all just throw like a little basement something? Like, I just need to. I was like, absolutely not, honey. Like, these are conversations I've had with people like, yo, I swear, if y'all throw a little backyard party, I'm coming. I was like, no.
No.
I was like, yeah.
I respect your viewpoint. Thank you for that and that clear. That was detailed, and I love it. And again, this is not taken away from the people who are doing fetes and stuff out there. We just want to get opinions from different promoters in the aspect of where they come from and how your viewpoint.
Yeah. And my viewpoint is going to be mine. It's not going to be yours. You know what I'm saying? Like, everyone is going to obviously everyone has their take on it. So
we're going to change it, and we're going to see if we can close out in a little bit.
Okay.
You have a fitness business as well, don't you? You're a personal trainer?
I am a personal trainer.
So and tell us a little about like that.
That's just one of those things that has been a passion of mine. I enjoy fitness. I enjoy working out. I enjoy training. I enjoy working with people. So I went out and got certified by ACE. And, you know, of course, that has slowed down to the point of a stop. And right now, it's another one of those things that I'm like, I'm not even comfortable doing that yet. Like, I don't have a problem for me going to work out. The reason that, because one, I work out at a stupid hour of the morning where there's nobody else in the gym.
Right.
So,
right. I seen you.
Right. No, you saw me on late days. Those are my late days. Like, those ain't even my regular hours. So I work out at a crazy hour. There's very few people in the gym, and I can stay to myself and mitigate my own risk, and then take my own and roll those dice myself. Okay. I just won't encourage someone else to come say, hey, especially if they're not doing it. If you're not out here working out or whatever, that's fine. When things clear back up, then that's just another thing that I enjoy. I enjoy the idea of fitness. I enjoy promoting a healthy lifestyle. I enjoy just trying to be in the best physical condition, whether it's for the people who want to just lose some weight, for the people who want to be able to run a 5K, for the people who want to be able to do more push-ups, whatever your goals are.
Gotcha.
Just whatever it is that drives you fitness-wise, I'm here for it.
So what is your biggest motivator up until now? What motivates you the most to do what you do, and do it with logic and the understanding that you have so far? Like, because for everything I've seen about you, it's a purpose. There's nothing without purpose. So what motivates you to be that way?
I will say my biggest motivator externally are my cousins. Like their work ethic and the level of work they put into what they do keeps me motivated to push myself further to continue to try to put out a good product. If you don't know, like my cousins, they do mass in New York and I'm Miami, and they've been doing it for 11 or 12 years now.
Just say who your cousins are, man.
With Ramajay Mass, and like, and then they've recently shout out to Ramajay, the Ramajay family, and they have been moving into throwing parties, throwing events or whatever, and just watching and being a part of working with them and seeing the level of detail and the effort that they put into doing what they do motivates me and keeps me going. And I've noticed, like, so being around them and watching the product, watching the results of the product. So like when it's Labor Day Monday or Miami Carnival, whatever, and you're exhausted, but you're watching people have fun, like that feeling is what is the intrinsic motivation. Like, so the external was me watching them and being motivated by them, and then so now when I come out and I put out a party, and like I said, on the day of, I may be exhausted, like up early running around, and I'm in the party, and and anyone who's seen me in a party, like I'm half of the time I'm like, all right, whose turn is it to DJ? All right, cool.
When you got your shirt on, though.
Right, while the shirt is on. This is before all of that happens. There's a point where the alcohol takes over. But yeah, so, and at the end of the night, like watching people have fun and getting them text messages and stuff the next day when it's like, yo, Rich, I had so much fun at that joint. That joint was crazy. And then watching the video, like that's my internal motivation. Like being a part of the fun that other people are having, on getting to create that for other people. So seeing that result is what drives me to say, you know what, I want to keep being a part of this because I like that feeling of not just being at the party and having fun, but facilitating that for others. So I'm creating the joy and the vibe that you are having. You know what I'm saying? So that's my other motivation.
On that note, we look forward to having you again. We look forward to future events, fetes that you're having. I want to say,
me too.
I want to say thank you for joining us today. It's always great to talk to you. You always have a logical way of thinking.
Hence the name.
Yes, and we really appreciate you coming out, bro.
Thanks for having me, bro.
Especially stay safe out there.
You
Everybody
too,
else stay safe. Thank you.
Right.
We would like to thank our sponsor, Project Paradise. Apparently it tastes really good there, huh? So, all right, we're done. Thank you for joining us. Until next time.